Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for a postcard of the week. Happy New Year! It's 2023. Can you believe it? Today is a special day, obviously, and one that we're doing a special New Year's Day postcard of the week. We're kind of slipping it in there between our usual presentations. But today is a very good day, and I brought a postcard along to show you. It's a card that has many facets, but what we'll be looking at first of all is that this says American Red Cross across the front of it. And we know that that probably was a product of the organization. I don't know for sure. There's nothing on the card that would suggest it was sold, but I think a lot of times these were as fundraisers or just out on a desk, maybe at a store to be picked up or sold at a postcard shop too. Back then they had those things. This, I think, is an interesting card for many respects. And I want you to look at it closely and see that it shows Santa Claus. It shows Father Time with his kind of like egg timer down there close to his feet. It shows the American Red Cross, and it shows that this is the eclipse of 1909 being eclipsed by 1910, over 100 years ago. It's pretty cool. And this one has kind of a silver highlight printing to it, so it has extra life and has uh, a great overall design. The postcard is something that I think illustrates the going to a postcard show and to being fortunate enough to be able to sit down in front of a dealer's table and to look at postcards. You may just collect one particular thing. Several weeks ago, we had our friend Dolores Rowe from Pennsylvania talking about Santa postcards. And this one would certainly be in one of her categories. But it all goes back to how the dealer has filed the cards. And that is a tough job. Sometimes they just go crazy, like, where do I file this? But uh, that is the reason why you go to a postcard show and sit down and take time. And once you've determined that the price structure that that dealer uses is, say, reasonable to you, and sometimes it's a little more or sometimes it's a little less of what you'd like to pay, but take time to look further. They too have had trouble maybe in finding the right topic to file this under. And so you could collect Santa Claus and never find this card because it was filed under American Red Cross or New Year's or Christmas. So that's why it behooves you to sit down and start going through. We call that running somebody's stock. You're going through all of the topics one by one, and it's great fun. You can start, visiting with other people that are there besides the dealer, and it's just part of the excitement and thrill of going to a postcard show. I wanted to mention that on the back, here is one of these rules that we talk about every once in a while, and we notice that this is an undivided back. It does not have the line down the center where just the address is on the right side and the message is on the left. In this case, it's an undivided back, and all of the message is on the back of it, and the message part is on the front of this design. Well, this is an example of something that if the card has an undivided back, we sometimes say, "Oh, it must be before 1907." Well, in this case, we know it was 1910, and it still had the undivided back. But that was a decision that somebody made at the American Red Cross or in their design department or whoever made those kinds of decisions to make this card in the first place. It's what they wanted. And so this is just, like I say, an example of something that wasn't supposed to be really in terms of regulations for postal workers, but it happens, and that makes the card even more interesting to a collector. On the reverse side, also, you'll notice it has a 2-cent stamp. And I have to admit, I'm not a student of postal rates and, that part of postal history. I'm more interested in cancellations sometimes, but this having 2-cent stamp, maybe it's just because that's what the person had in front of them, a bunch of 2-cent stamps instead of penny stamps. I would have thought in 1910 that this would have had a 1-cent stamp. Why it has a two, we don't know, but it's just another facet to make the postcard interesting to a collector today. Well, I we've talked about these different topics that the postcard shows, and I hope that this may have sparked some interest for you to search through the cards that you have in your own collection and how you've sorted them and how you enjoy them. And looking at them will just increase this fondness for the hobby and uh, and make it more exciting to talk about with other collectors and so forth. Well, Happy New Year 2023. And we wish you all the best and hope that you'll be able to make the Wichita Postcard Show in October 21 and 22, 2023. We'll hope to see you here then. And Happy New Year. Thank you.